Bless you, brother. Bless you, man.
Well, actually, I didn't. I was coming to. I was coming to another church.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was gonna be here.
Lord have mercy.
And thank God, I've been looking. I've been want to talk to you though.
Well, come on, talk to me. Leave him alone, that guy. Leave him alone. Back there, say you want to talk to him, you got to talk to him. But every now and then, this rose can make it out and through concrete.
Yes, Lord.
And that's true. Every now and then, an athlete can make it from the projects. That's right. Every now and then, a doctor can become a doctor, even though he came from disenfranchised conditions. But the issue is, here it is here, when a rose makes it through concrete, we should not focus so much on the rose that we neglect the concrete conditions that the rose had to make it through. So in other words, while we thank God that the rose made it, we cannot forget and overlook the fact that there are plenty other roses in the same neighborhood, in the same community, that's not as fortunate as the one rose. Come on,
yes, come on.
And we cannot neglect and look over the circumstances that those other roses are still struggling with. Circumstances like poverty, circumstances like neighborhood terrorism. Family, something is wrong when you can predict someone's lifespan according to their zip code. I'm going to feel better in here in a minute. Unfair circumstances. Housing not affordable. Education not up to par. Gas stations. It's amazing to me sometimes in some of our communities and neighborhoods, the gas stations don't even have gas, but they got plenty of swishers and cigarettos and edibles. Y'all quiet on me. Unfair circumstances like where a lot of these communities, they have limited access to resources and community centers and book clubs, but Lord knows they got a whole lot of chicken restaurants and liquor stores and pay unfair circumstances. Excuse me, y'all, and we have to take responsibility as well. What do you mean? Well, we cannot be more concerned about our kids going to prom than we are them going to college. Excuse me, something is wrong when our young people, they cannot conjugate verbs and reduce fractions, but they can turn around and rap complex lyrics from the Migos to Lil Durk to NBA Youngboy. Lord, help me in here. And all of these other rappers. In other words, the devil is a lie. It's not that they don't have the potential to do it. Preaching here, Reverend. As a matter of fact, I rebuke the attack of the enemy on our young people right now. That even against all odds, even against all of the circumstances that they are dealing with, I believe that the hand of the Lord is still on our young people. Let me tell you something, and we have some young people connected to us that's going to make a difference in our world. I wish I had somebody to put that in the atmosphere. You got a grandchild, you got a niece, you got a nephew, Lord help me in here, a great, you got somebody connected to you that if you don't give up on them, they will make a difference. Apostle Paul, he introduces us to some interesting acts. That's right. And he talks about how we have trouble on every side. Yes. He gives us different perplexities and talks about persecution and calamities. He talks about entropic mindsets. Yeah. And as we look at the exigence of our text, it's amazing to me that Paul talks about everything that's going on at that time. Right. It sounds similar to what we're dealing with right now. Yeah. Lord, I wish I had just a little help in this house. What, Reverend? Some of what Paul talks about then, y'all, if we can be honest, we are dealing with it right now. But here's the good news. Out of everything that we're dealing with currently, God has not forgotten about us. Can we put that in the atmosphere? Go ahead, tell your neighbor. Neighbor, yes, times are hard. But God has not forgotten about us. about it, y'all. We can be honest. We are living in troubling times. Think about it. The stock market is unstable, and the weather is unpredictable, and the job market is undependable, and gas prices are demonic. Lord, help me. Highways are no longer safe, and pride dominates the attitude. Bitterness dominates the tongue. Revenge dominates the heart. I'm going to feel better in here in a minute. Jealousy is in the eye. Gossip is in the ear. Greed is in the hand. Sin is in the soul. We are living in trouble. And y'all not going to tell me that times are not hard right now. When money has become an god. Entertainment is an idol. Movie stars are being worshipped. Criminals are heroes. Students try to run the school. Children try to run the home. Employees try to run the boss. The criminal try to run the prison system. And gangs try to run the city. We are living in trouble. It's all right. Let me preach and I feel better than prayer not in classrooms. Integrity not in the workplace. Honesty not in friendships. Faithfulness not in relationships. And if you ain't careful, joy ain't in a whole lot of our churches. We are living in hard. Seemingly the giants are bigger. The giants are bigger than what little David fought. Flames done got hotter than what the Hebrew boys went through. Lions are more fierce than what Daniel had to sleep. The walls are stronger than what the children of Israel had to march around. The bones are drier. But the good news is, Pastor Paul says that in spite of all of this, am I doing all right so far?
Yes, Lord.
In spite of this, we are still not destroyed. Since I got trouble on every side, but even against all odds, God is still with us. Family, ain't it? That's improper English. I'm going to say it anyway. Ain't it good to know that regardless to what you're dealing with, God is still on your side? I thank you for the 1, the 2, the 3, and I appreciate y'all. I really do. Ain't it good to know? Isn't it refreshing to know that we can't endure a problem or a hardship, that God is still not with us as we're facing it? Lord, help me in here. You see, if I had to deal with some of the stuff I have to deal with by myself, I would lose my mind. If I had to encounter the enemy by myself, y'all think I ain't got no hair right now. And the only reason you laughing because you bought yours. But listen to me. If I had to deal with it by myself, I would go crazy. But it's not me, but rather 1 John 4:4 says something like this. A greater is he. I wish I had somebody. A greater is he that is in me than he that's in that. Okay. All right. Y'all gonna make me work. That's fine. I can't work. I bought 2 versions of this sermon. I had the short version. But y'all asking for the long one, so it's all right. Here it is. Red talked about it earlier. And we're dealing with the ups and downs of life. That's really the picture that Apostle Paul is trying to paint. Seemingly, we're up 1 minute. Help me preach, my friend. And we're down the next minute. Anybody been there before? You went to sleep. Everything was good. But by the time you woke up, oh hell, them breaking, you jumping away. Life is full of ups and Apostle Paul is trying to get us to understand how to make it through the ups and downs of life. In other words, he's trying to help us deal with the vicissitudes of life. Because it would be wonderful if life was good all the time. But the reality is, in this world, Jesus says, you're going to have some tribulation. right, Reverend. Did you just tell us to shout with the ups and downs of life? How can I rejoice and shout over ups and downs? Good question. I'm happy you asked. Let me tell you. Reverend talked about it recently. Me and Sister Rhonda, we had our kidney operation.
Yes, Lord.
And we were in the hospital November 7th. We were in the hospital, and glory be to God, we thank God for being a healer. Every time I look around me and we're in the same room, I start crying. It reminds me of the power of God.
Yes, Lord.
So, we're in the hospital. Now, this is the first time I've ever, as they say, gone under. I've ever had an operation. I got sick one time before with this thing called pericarditis. It's very rare, and I caught it after getting vaccinated. And I had never heard of it. And they said, well, Rev, it looked like you got pericarditis. And I told them, well, I ain't never been in no parachute. I don't know nothing about no pericarditis. The only para I know is the paraclete. All my help comes from the Lord. Fast forward, right after the operation, the kidney operation, I'm in the hospital, on the bed, and they hooked me up to an EKG machine. I'm trying to help somebody to understand how to deal with the ups and downs of life. Now, as annoying as that machine was, I would look at it frequently just to make sure everything was all right. I really didn't know what I was looking at, but I kept my eye on it, you know, to make sure it didn't start making no new noises. Come on, talk back here.
That's right.
So I'm constantly looking at that thing, and what I discovered is it was connected to my heart. And they had lines going across the screen, and the lines were going up and down.
Well,
now, I was okay as long as I looked over there and saw the lines going up and down.
yeah.
What I didn't want to see,
Yeah. Come on now.
I wish I'd help me preach this
Come on
sermon in here.
now.
What I didn't want to see was a flat line. Lord, help me in here. But as long as it was going up and down, it signified that I still had some life in me. Can I tell you how to handle the ups and downs in life? When trouble seems to be coming up and down in your life, it must mean that God got some life still in you. You have not flatlined. That means he's not through with you yet. And I wish I had somebody. Matter of fact, let everything that had breath in here praise ye the Lord. He ain't through with me yet. It means I got more work to do. Lord, help me in here. It means I still have more on my assignment. He's putting more on my plate. In other words, it means he's not through with me yet.
Yes, Lord.
Apostle Paul says here, yes, we are troubled on every side. Yeah, we're not distressed. Apostle Paul said that we are perplexed. But we're not in despair.
Yes, Lord.
Persecuted, y'all. But he says, we're not forsaken.
Come on.
Cast down, but not destroyed.
Yeah.
And I don't care what you're going through. You are not destroyed. Lord, help me in here. Yeah, I understand times might be hard right now. But you are not destroyed. I hear what you're saying. Well, Reverend, I'm dealing with this and I'm dealing with that. Dealing seems like it's always something. But the good news is God has not forgot about you. And you must understand something. That is two types of prayers. Say what, Reverend? I say it's two types of prayers. There's one prayer called a denied prayer. But there's another prayer called a delayed prayer. There's a denied prayer, but then there's also a delayed prayer. I think sometimes when you and I are going through, one reason why it's so hard is because we forget what the word says.
Come on, Pastor.
way.
Come on.
And don't confuse delayed with denial.
Yeah.
Just because he hasn't answered yet doesn't mean that it's, Lord, I wish I had some help. Doesn't mean that it's been denied. I think sometimes in life, a lot of the blessings that God has for us, he put them on the layaway plan.
Yes, Lord.
Well, I know y'all bad and bougie. Y'all don't know nothing about no layaway plan, but I got several accounts right now. But it's on the way. I wish I had somebody cry out, it's on the way.
It's on the way.
Here, I'm out here. Don't get discouraged when you find yourself between not and yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Pastor. That's good.
Don't get discouraged when you find yourself at the intersection of not and yet. Because not yet means it just hasn't happened yet. Well, help me understand this. We have, my wife and I, have 10-year-old, 8-year-old daughter. She's growing up. And I text my daughter, she had called me one day. And because I couldn't pick up the phone, I sent her a text message. Yeah. I knew what she was asking for, and I responded to it by text. When I saw her later, she said, Daddy, I called you. She said, you didn't answer my call. I said, yeah, I know, but I texted you. She said again. She said, Daddy, you didn't answer. I said, I couldn't answer right then because I was busy.
Well.
But I responded. I texted you. And I asked her, have you read the text?
Well, come on, Pastor. That's good right there. Which one?
I couldn't answer, but I did text. Have you read the text?
All right.
You try this side there. Y'all been
All
ready.
right.
That's it right there.
I need y'all. I couldn't answer because I was busy. But I did respond. And when I talked to her later, I asked her, did you read the text?
Yes.
You try this
All
side.
right.
Luzanne, I couldn't answer then.
Yes.
But I responded.
Come on.
And said, have you read
The text.
Reverend, how can I deal with my trouble? How can I deal with it when I find myself waiting on God to answer? Here it is here. Have you all read the text lately? Lord help me. I'm not talking about a text message. I'm talking about the Bible, the biblical text. What, Reverend? I said, have you read the text lately? Because if you read the text, you'll read what God said in the text already. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Have you read the text, mate? When you read the text, you'll see what the text says. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy will come in the morning. Have you read the text lately? But the text says this, be not dismayed. God will provide. Have you read the text lately? Because the text says, if God be for you, he's more than the world against you. Can you look at a neighbor and ask a neighbor, have you read the text lately? That might have been the wrong neighbor. Look at the other neighbor and ask the neighbor, have you read the text lately? Because the text says, with God, all things are possible. I got to get out of here now. But Apostle Paul says, he said we got trouble on every side. Apostle Paul says that it look hard right now, but God is still with us. And I wish I had somebody here that can testify that the Lord is still with me. Yes, I got some ups, y'all, and I got some downs, but God is still with me. Why don't you shake a neighbor's hand and tell a neighbor, hang on in there, because God is still on your side. Have I got one witness here that believe that the that we carry about in us the tie-in of the Lord God Jesus Christ. What you mean, Paul? That daily we represent the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. Paul says that in other words, when we tell the story that he died one Friday, when we tell the story that he died on a hill called Calvary, that's carrying about within us the sufferings of good God Almighty of the Lord Jesus. And I wish I had somebody here that know he died good God Almighty on a hill called Calvary. Have I got any witnesses here that know he died one Friday? They took my Lord from Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall. Have I got any witnesses here that know the story? They took him from Judgment Hall to Judgment Hall. Yes, they did. And then put a crown of thorns on his head. They put nails in his hands. They put spikes in his feet. Yeah, but they made a good God Almighty. They made one mistake. Y'all forgive me. I know it ain't Easter yet, but they made one mistake. What was it, Reverend? They lifted good God Almighty. They lifted him up, and he said, Lord, if I, don't y'all give me like this, Lord, if I be lifted from the earth, I will draw all men, I will draw all women, I will draw good God Almighty, I will draw all criminals, I will draw all backstabbers, I will draw